Hello, all guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout. Watched a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob. Haven't watched nearly as much wrestling, and no, my fave is not a problematic dipshit who has a problem keeping his mouth shut. What are you talking about?
Unfortunately, this is our first real time with CM Punk post the Gripe Bomb,
all out media scrum,
Muffin Gate,
post
post Brawl for All Out.
Brawl for All Out. Oh boy.
But yeah, while CM Punk is currently getting himself fired forever from AEW
and from all of wrestling,
we are going back to an arc which ironically features two current AEW people, as CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Kane are fighting over the WWE Championship and also for the heart of AJ Lee.
AJ Lee. The really important thing here. Who cares about some fucking belt when you can be able to date AJ Lee? I mean, unironically, I know which of those two I'm picking any day. Unironically. Absolutely.
I do as well. Obviously, I would like to be WWE champion for a year.
Ha! No, Austin definitely does not have an ace flag behind him. What are you talking about?
Every time I struggle to know how to lean back to show that off for a bit.
Dude, fucking the reflection, go in the opposite way in your reflection, the video screen is so disorienting every time, no matter how many times you do that.
Well, back on point. Yeah, so last time we basically did the road to Over the Limit. Where it was pretty much a straightforward, I want to be the best, like no one ever was.
Okay, well, technically, last time was last week when we went a little back in time before Daniel Bryan got fucking chump squashed by Sheamus at WrestleMania or whatever.
True. Too random, too Iser.
Yes.
Led us into a preview of this arc, a prequel, more like, is it better say, of pre-WrestleMania, so we got to see Daniel Bryan be just the bestest boyfriend and lover to AJ Lee.
Yeah, as I said, AJ Lee got on mic and was pressured by good old DB into expounding the virtues of how large his cock is.
But PG, we can't say that. But the meaning is there.
The implication.
Yes. But last time we were doing this arc for realsies, it was, Over the Limit. Mm-hmm. Daniel Bryan beat Jerry Lawler to become the number one contender.
Yes.
And it was basically trying to prove they're the best. And in the meantime, we got little seeds of stuff that matters.
Fucking by the by, this is kind of this is not terribly related, but apparently Jerry Lawler is coming to a place somewhat near me to do a signing, and part of me is tempted to go and get the fucking Funko Pop signed by him. So
no, don't do that. It's not worth giving him money to sign that Funko Pop.
Fuck. Yeah, you're right. But it almost I wonder what it's like to see him in person. The Gremlin Man. The pedophile Gremlin Man. What is that experience? I'm almost certainly not actually going to, but I'm deeply morbidly curious, What are you?
Back on topic. Good Daniel Bryan, the seeds planting here is regarding AJ. She has been a little unstable in the wake of her breakup with Daniel Bryan.
I mean, one could argue that you have to be stable to get in to be a bit unstable to get into a relationship with Daniel Bryan in the first place, but that's just me.
But poor AJ has not been helped by Daniel deciding to rub it in the salt and salting the wounds, and he's like, I can't wait to move on to Caitlyn, your best friend.
Yeah. Oh yes, the best friend who she totally gets along with, and there's definitely not trouble brewing in that paradise too. AJ's just speedrunning all the breakups, actually. The friend breakup, the romantic breakup, and about to get rejected by at least 2 out of 3 guys that are angling for her affections.
Well, we'll get there, won't we?
Yes, we will.
And also, in the SmackDown before Over the Limit, CM Punk was forced to wrestle Kane as a punishment for making fun of John Laurinaitis. And during the match, Daniel Bryan interfered, attacked Kane with a chair, and then pinned it on CM Punk. And so Kane beat the shit out of CM Punk. And so now
David learned that the wrestlers never watched playback ever, and so Kane will just never figure out the fact that it was DB. Because why the fuck would you ever go and watch back the episode when you can just go on your own biases in this sports art form that is known for some fuckery bullshit?
Of course. So tonight we will be covering the Road to No Way Out, the next pay-per-view event after Over the Limit, taking place on June 17th, 2012. And so we will be covering the events of the 4 episodes of Raw and SmackDown beforehand.
Man, that's a lot of episodes.
It is. I had to cut down a super cut of 2 hours of content, and I watched the stuff we're cutting so I can talk about it confidently. So I will go ahead and give off the dates of what we're going to be covering tonight. These specific Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Kane only bits.
Okay.
The May 21st, 2012 episode of Raw. The May 25th, 2012 episode of SmackDown. The May 28th, 2012 episode of Raw. The June 1st, 2012 episode of SmackDown. The June 4th, 2012 episode of Raw. The June 8th, 2012 episode of SmackDown. The June 11th, 2012 episode of Raw. The June 15th, 2012 episode of SmackDown. And, of course, No Way Out 2012.
Holy shit.
Yep. 4 weeks of TV and a pay-per-view condensed into 2 hours.
Holy fucking goodness. That's, oh boy, spicy meatball.
Yep. So, if you would like to watch along with us, the only reasonable way you could do that is Peacock TV, NBC Universal's streaming service. WWE licenses all their shit to them, and so every episode of Raw and SmackDown is on there. $4.99 with ads, $9.99 a month without ads.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yep. And so in the back half, we will be right back to talk about June 2012 WWE.
Boy, the entire fucking month.
Yep. And we are back. We have just finished 4 weeks of TV, starting from the May 21st, 2012 episode of Raw, all the way to No Way Out 2012.
Yeah, big boy. Austin just what if we did an entire fucking pay-per-view cycle in one night? No big.
Hell yeah. Next time. I don't want to think about next time yet.
Why is that?
Next time this arc, I don't want to think about it yet.
Okay. No. I'm saying, are we covering 2 pay-per-view cycles next time?
More like 1.5.
Austin!
I really wanted to do this in 3 episodes, and I'm wondering if maybe I can't.
Yeah, we could have done this in 5, Austin. Could have done our usual.
I don't think we need to do this. Well, I don't think we need to do this in 5, but let's get back on hand.
Anyway.
So this is where the love square really got a kicking.
Yeah. Oh boy, was there kicking and punching and kissing and a whole lot of crazy shit. Oh,
Hell
boy.
yeah, it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, that was something.
I guess you're a little less enthusiastic, I suppose.
I have thoughts. Some
Yeah,
good, some bad.
I think there's going to be a real line of like differing opinions about a particular part of all this when we get to it.
Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll find out. Stay tuned,
Yeah.
audience. This is how you know it's going to be a juicy one.
Yeah, all right. So, let's kick it off on the May 21st episode of Raw. Daniel Bryan is out to cut a promo.
Oh,
My
he
boy
has his
D.
angry
Bryan
face
had
on
so
too.
many promos in this.
Oh my god. Everybody had so many fucking promos in this. Jesus.
Yeah, it was part of why it was so hard to plot this arc from my end. Because there's so much shit that happened in this pay-per-view cycle.
Just everyone has so fucking much to say.
This is classic WWE right here. We're telling stories. We're making movies. And you know what they do in movies, David? They talk.
I mean, they do other things in well, I guess they do those other movie things in here too. But like, I just didn't expect this to be like everybody just fucking monologuing. God damn.
Hell yeah, man. This is what Raw was like every single week.
And we're about to jump to 3 hours too. Fuck.
You know what that means? More time for monologues.
Hell yeah. Hey, I love my long ass Shakespearean asides, alright? Don't at me.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've really gotten to feel that 2010s WWE Shakespearean.
Oh, and we want to talk Shakespeare.
Dialogue.
I mean, give me a fucking Love Square any day. I kicked off this arc by comparing it to Shakespeare.
Yeah. Before Daniel Bryan started, I noted in the crowd there were two people with signs, one that said "we" and one that said "most assuredly."
Yeah, not we as in like we the people. We as
in French.
French, yes.
Yes.
That's great.
Like I told you, like the crowd still kind of gives him shit, but slowly but surely, more and more people are jumping on that yes train.
I feel like people have been on for a while if it was big enough to like get a shirt at this point.
I mean, even the heels get shirts, but yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So he is. DB has his angry face on, and he's here to just spout out some peak heel logic. Let me tell you.
Yeah, all right, because he claims that a great injustice was done to him, and he should be WWE champion right now. And he shows a clip from Over the Limit 2012. And he shows the clip of Punk tapping out, phenomenally able to miss how the referee has already counted the pin and was going to tell the ring bell to the ring timekeeper to ring the bell while Punk was tapping out.
I don't like so I get the heel logic here, but holy shit, when my man has the footage, it just comes across as extra delusional to the point where it just feels like there's no way in hell. Because when DB's like, roll the clip, it doesn't show the part where the referee counts the 3 count. It just shows the tap out. So he had to have deceptively. So it's so delusional that he has to just be lying, right?
I mean, I think he is supposed to be that delusional, but who's to say, really?
Yeah. I to me it just seems like he's all kinds of mad. He's all kinds of like, he tapped. That should have been me. I don't care if I just got 3 counted. He tapped, and that's what mattered. Damn, Daniel. Sounds like you fucking need to get good.
Yeah, good scrub.
Yeah.
We get question and answer time with Daniel Bryan. I don't know how much he was doing it before this, but he does it aplenty in this series of episodes. He has question and answer time with Daniel Bryan. Did I make Punk tap out? Yes.
Yeah. And
should I be WWE champion?
No.
Yes. The crowd does do no along
Crowd
when
yells
he's like,
no.
yes. It's hilarious. And if I face
while we're
CM
shouting
Punk
out
again,
signs, while we're shouting out signs, shout out to the person who also has the Yes X3 sign.
yeah, man, you just know how it works. You know how this goes. Why type out yes 3 times when you can just put yes
say
X3?
Yes X3. I mean, you're saving money on letter stickers there. It makes perfect
You
sense
are.
to me. It's economical.
It's very smart. You'd have to buy at least 2 packs of letter stickers to do yes, yes, yes.
Man, I know all about how many fucking packs of letter stickers you have to buy to make enough words. Oh, pain.
But then the final Daniel Bryan question, if I face CM Punk again, would I win? Yes! Yes! Yes!
And the crowd, of course, goes no, and Michael Cole it sounds unanimous to me, and Jerry Lawler goes, yeah, unanimous no.
Daniel Bryan said the only reason he's not the champion is because of gross incompetence of a referee, and he demands a rematch, and out comes CM Punk.
Well, yes, of course.
CM Punk started with saying, let me clear up any controversy, to which I was like, oh no.
Oh, God.
I've seen where this goes.
No. Punk clearing up controversy.
Oh no!
What a prescient line.
Yeah, anyway, he emphasizes that he pinned Bryan in the middle of the ring. That's that. Great match. Put him to the limit, whatever. But he won. And what Punk would instead like to talk about right now is Kane and what happened on SmackDown. So we get the replay of the whole Kane bit from last time. We talked about it in the front half. And Punk admits it was a clever little trick, and he's kind of upset that he fell for it all. But he has some good news for Daniel Bryan, as he would like to introduce Daniel Bryan to his opponent tonight.
Yeah, I feel fucking vindicated, because apparently Punk does watch playback, and he showed it to Kane, and Kane is not goddamn happy about what just happened.
Yeah, I feel a little dumb right now. I can't believe it.
Hey, look at the fucking they watched the tapes. They watched the tapes. Oh,
I've always been so sure that nobody watches the tapes.
Well, clearly CM Punk does, because Punk's enough of an egomaniac that he wants to watch his matches back, and he just kind of go, hold on, wait a second.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
Hey, I got bamboozled.
Yeah. Then so Punk goes on to commentary, and Michael Cole's like, hey, what are you matchmaker around here? And Punk's like, yes, I wear many hats.
He said I wear all hats here. Mm-hmm. Matchmaker, commentator, champion. Yeah. And I'm just over here, matchmaker, make me a match. Man, that'd be a completely different version of Fiddler on the Roof, huh?
Yeah, I suppose so. So Daniel Bryan versus Kane is the first match. Honestly, it doesn't go very long because we got angles to do here.
Yeah, DB's just kind of like doing like slapstick escapes from Kane the whole time, which is fun. It's fun to watch like small little boy Daniel Bryan just kind of like duck and dodge out of the way of Kane, and, like try to like trick him to like fly over the ropes and shit. Good times.
Mm-hmm. So Daniel Bryan does a dive to Kane on the outside. And so Punk gets up for a better view.
Yeah, and he forgets his fucking chair at first. He's like, oh shit, I gotta go back for it.
Oh yeah, I gotta do the chair bit. My bad. So he grabs the chair to ostensibly try to do what Daniel Bryan did. And Daniel's like, oh, no. So he grabs the chair away from Punk. And then Kane gets up and sees Daniel with the chair. So it was a little bit of a reverse fake out on Punk's part. So Kane thinks that Daniel's about to hit him with a chair. So Kane takes the chair from Daniel Bryan and then beats him to death with it. DQ.
Yeah. Something, fool me once. Kane clearly doesn't understand that he just got double bamboozled.
Fool me once, and we got a saying down here in Knoxville, Tennessee, County, Tennessee. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again. Bam, DQ. Daniel Kane then rolls Daniel Bryan in and hits him with 2 choke slams, and Punk is over here on commentary.
What a miscarriage of justice!
This is so terrible. I'm not enjoying this at all. No, this is awful.
This is terrible. I would hate that.
Yeah,
and Michael Cole is admonishing Punk on commentary for, you're the champion. Aren't you supposed to be the role model? And I take note that CM Punk has a proud streak of being a role model as champion.
Mm-hmm. He's lucky. No, there were plenty of chairs going around. We're lucky there was no biting going on around here in this arc.
Yeah, and we got. I'm noticing a running theme of Punk as champion, of him starting shit and chairs being involved, and him acting like a smug asshole about it.
Ugh. All right, so Punk then goes in to check on Daniel Bryan ostensibly. He's like someone should go. He's on commentary. Someone should go check on Daniel, and he goes to Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler's like, I'm not doing it. And
yeah.
Punk's like, well, okay, I know, so I'll take care of it. He like looks over at Bryan a little bit. He's like, hey, you okay there, buddy?
You good, buddy?
And then he looks at he looks directly at the camera, shrugs, and puts Daniel Bryan in the Anaconda Vice.
Yeah, and Michael Cole says something that I'm quickly picking up on might be his motto, which is, no, not like this, not like this. I didn't realize he liked to say that so much.
He does like that a lot.
Oh, well, Punk. Yes, so he's very indignant, and Punk is totally not mad that DB made him tap out last time. Totally not mad. Totally not mad at all. No, it definitely didn't piss him off that, like, Michael Cole on commentary was questioning his ability to, like, do submission holds. He's not mad at all.
No,
and also, you can get away with anything as a face.
Yeah. Then Punk gets up, does some little yes chants, has some fun. Then later backstage, CM Punk is walking around in the hallway, and AJ Lee comes up to him, and AJ is all nervous and stuttery, but she's like, she just real, and AJ says she has something to say to Punk, and Punk's like, let me guess, you're gonna say that you're completely
off
crazy?
Off your rocker,
and he's like, no, it's just that I really enjoyed seeing you beat up Daniel. And Punk's like, oh, okay, so
that's fine.
So you're not off your rocker, it's that you're sadistic, is what you're saying. And AJ starts crying at this, and Punk is like,
extremely
he looks
awkward.
like me. He looks like me.
How do you emotions? Punk all of a sudden, Punk, who always has something to say, is always like fucking smooth and sly and clever, all of a sudden gets extremely awkward at how the fuck do you do feelings.
God, he's like, he doesn't know what to do with a crying woman. He's like, what is this? He's looking around for desperately anybody he can shove this off to, but there ain't nobody in this hallway.
He's doing like robot arms. He's not sure, like, where do I put my hand?
He's like hover handing, trying to be like, do I like grab her to comfort her, or what am I doing here? He's just
this is not petty bullshit out on the mic. I don't know how to handle these feelings.
Now he does tell her, he's like, he tries to be like, hey, you know that you're the one acting like a fool about all this, right? Which just makes her cry harder. Good job, Punk. Good effort.
Yeah.
And then eventually he like pulls her into a hug, and he's just like, hey, he like taps her head a little bit. This is like, hey, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Just stop crying, and instantly. She stops and pulls away.
I mean, she's a good listener, I guess.
And she looks up with him with those big eyes, and he's like, you know what? I sort of dig crazy chicks.
All right.
Say the line, Punk.
Line number 1. Okay. Yeah, I sort of dig crazy chicks. And also, like, so first of all, ew. Second of all, do you? Because you seemed really fucking, like, awkward and weird about AJ being, like, crazy in a way that actually required emotional labor, not, like, 10 seconds ago. So, I'm gonna press X to doubt on that one. I just think you got a few weird complexes that make you horny. But that's just me.
I think he enjoys having some fun with crazy chicks. You know,
Yeah.
that's about it. I have some thoughts once we get deeper into this about this. Actually,
Okay.
I've as a shipper extraordinaire.
Oh,
I
no.
have thoughts.
Oh no! Oh wait! Fuck! I didn't consider this side of this storyline. Wait, you piece of shit! That's why you like this dumb, corny, sexist bullshit. It's because it fucking enables your shipping culture. Are you fucking kidding me? I got bamboozled into doing a shipping arc with you, son of a bitch! No! No! Fuck! I got worked! I got swerved! Top 10 anime betrayals? What? Oh no! You motherfucker! You piece of shit! I will have your head for this!
The Booker wins again.
Son of a bitch! Oh! God damn it, God fucking stupid love quadrangle. Stupid. Oh, that's that explains so goddamn much. Because I sit here watching this shit, and I'm like, this is fine. And I can see, like, 2012 Austin, who's brand new to wrestling, kind of hopping on at this point, and having fun with it, and being into it. But what has baffled me since we started this arc is you being like, I will still defend this to this day. And I'm over here like, that's interesting. Because I know Austin quite well. This man has a good taste. He has developed, he has refined his media analysis and critiquing sensibilities over the years. This is a man with whom I have many long, deep discussions about media analysis with. And he should know better, right? It's all because of the shipping.
But you see,
piece of shit.
I appreciate you saying I have good taste, but there's this one problem, is that in the year of our Lord 2011,
okay,
I discovered Glee fan fiction.
Oh.
And from that point on, some part of my brain was permanently broken.
Damaged? Yeah.
This is your brain. This is your brain on Glee. And
this is your brain on Glee fucking fan fiction.
And this story arc touches on the third worst bad part of my brain. This is what that's perfect for.
Oh, it scratches almost every single itch as Glee fanfiction, except there's a disappointing lack of musical numbers.
There are, and there's not nearly enough actual sexual content going on for this to be a true Glee fanfiction that I would
for 2012 WE with the State of the Divas division, I'm kind of happy there's not a whole lot of sexually explicit.
That's true. I agree. It's probably for the best overall. Just
definitely
saying.
For the best overall.
Of course.
Oh,
God all right. Let's.
This whole fucking arc is now
David has finally had an epiphany on this arc. And
I was just happy to see some of my faves, and I didn't even consider that Austin was over here like shipping brain re-engaged. God fucking damn. All right. We'll get to the shipping breakdown eventually. I'm very intrigued to see what Austin has to say about that. Oh boy.
Right. My shipping brain is where we working here.
Where were we? Okay.
We are on now. Let's move on to the May 25th, 2012 episode of SmackDown. We did not watch any of this tonight.
We did not.
I watched the shit that happened, so I can tell you. Kane versus, there was a match, Kane versus Alberto Del Rio versus Randy Orton in a number 1 contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Bryan, before the match, beat Kane with a chair. And then during the match, Kane had Randy Orton ready for a choke slam. Daniel Bryan came back, distracted Kane, RKO to Kane, but then Del Rio ran in and kicked Randy Orton in the head. Del Rio pinned Kane, 1, 2, 3. So Alberto, on that side of the equation, Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus are set to face off for the World Heavyweight Championship, but Kane and my boy D. Bry are not done.
They don't got a SmackDown belt to chase, so now they can go. Now they're freed up to
now that any sort of obligation to SmackDown's main championship has been wrapped up, they can go to Raw, where the important stuff happens.
Where the actual important stuff happens, where you can actually give a shit.
Yep. All right. So on the May 28th episode of Raw, we didn't watch it, but I did, and it's hilarious, to be honest. Is John Laurinaitis comes out and he exclaims that he is the new cover star of the next WWE video game, WWE 13. And he has like a poster mocked up of him on the cover doing the people power thing. And CM Punk comes out and is like, "You're an idiot. Why would anyone ever want you on the cover? That is not who is on the cover. In fact, it is me on the cover." And they have a huge poster come down, and they show the real cover for WWE 13.
That's a cute little way to do the poster reveal.
It was. I wish they had. It's pretty much the only time they've ever done something like that. And it's like that was kind of funny. So I wish it's something they had thought to do more often, to be honest.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, but that was right before CM Punk's match against Daniel Bryan, which that's when we started to watch.
That's what we're really here for.
Yeah, David made this observation, so I made a note of it. CM Punk starting Spoopy Month way too early.
Yeah, I thought I started celebrating spooky season early when I kick off fucking midnight on September 1st. CM Punk over here celebrating it in goddamn May. With gear, with black and orange gear that has goddamn like spiderweb decals on it.
Yeah, Spooky Month is absolutely October, not May. Too early.
I think you meant September, but your point is well taken.
Did I now?
Your point is well taken. Moving on.
I'm very much a holiday minimalist. Christmas season starts starts on Black Friday. Halloween season starts on October. Earlier. Everything else is too early.
You people are you people fucking delude yourselves, okay?
Thanksgiving deserves its own time.
I just want people to be honest with themselves and stop pretending like Thanksgiving is anything more than a Christmas pregame. That's all I want. You fuckers are just... I was once like you, Austin. I once tried to delude myself out of some sense of principle into thinking that I could, actually, believe in Thanksgiving as a thing. But no, fuck that. I have since seen the light. I have become far more honest with myself. It is Christmas pregame, and that's all it needs to be.
Ugh. All right. The match.
Yes.
CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. I mean, it's a really solid technical back and forth kind of
course
match.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't take too many notes, so it's really too many notes on it. But AJ Lee comes on out, and she is wearing a CM Punk shirt.
And CM Punk, wrist sweatbands.
Begins.
Yeah. And, Punk and DB have a quality fucking bout in ring. The one thing I did note was, a lot of technical moves, the technical moves kind of go back and forth. Sometimes they, aren't super visceral, and sometimes they really are. And DB had one spot like that. He had Punk's arm, bent back in a way that just had me going, ow, ow. Punk's arm, made a fucking square, kind of back and around his back, and, and DB was like pushing down hard, and I could like, oh, that one hurt to look at.
Yeah.
Lawler's over here on commentary being goddamn condescending to AJ. Yuck.
He was very weird about it. It also took commentary far too long to notice that she was wearing a CM Punk shirt.
Yeah, she's been under this whole.
She was very obviously wearing one.
Although, to be fair, I did not notice until commentary pointed out. I noticed her sweatbands. I did not notice the shirt. Whoops.
So old Michael Cole. I also wrote about this nonsense of Michael Cole trying to make this out to be CM Punk is making Daniel Bryan jealous, and I'm like, but he's not jealous, Cole. He kind of isn't.
I mean, I think it starts to get to DB's head a little bit, but I guess
it does eventually. There. But not this early. I don't think is when he clearly is obsessed about it. And Jerry Lawler tries to claim that he wouldn't know the feeling of his exes getting together with someone he knows to make him jealous. I'm like, yeah, all right, Jerry.
Okay, Jerry. Also, was it? Yeah. Shut up, Lawler. Was it Cole or Jerry that goes AJ Strange?
Oh, I literally am about to talk about that. I have my next note about this. Okay. Michael Cole calls AJ Strange, and Jerry Lawler's like, what? And then he goes, AJ Strange, and Jerry Lawler's like, how is she strange? And Cole doesn't elaborate even at all, a little bit, and then like
he just goes, she's strange.
Yeah, and then Jerry Lawler's answer is, yeah, she's kind of strange. And they both like
I missed
chuckle.
That
and
part.
I'm like, he said it pretty quiet, but then like, what the fuck, guys?
God damn it. Okay, that's actually kind of funny. God damn it, Lawler. Stopping actually kind of funny on this episode, you piece of shit.
Don't worry. I got a line. I got his next big line. I wrote him down as saying, normally I'm pretty good at reading the looks on women's faces. Ooh. You stop it, you.
Yeah, I'm giving a big X to doubt face right now.
That's why you've been married like 5 times, Jerry.
Absolutely.
You're really good at reading women's faces.
Especially when their face says, I want a fucking divorce.
Oh, I bet he knows that face really well.
He knows that face very well.
All right. They did a big old superplex spot. That was fun. Here toward the end of the match, Daniel Bryan is going to uncover the turnbuckle, and AJ is like, hey, ref!
Stop that.
Ref!
AJ doing our jobs for us. It's very nice.
Doing this distracts Daniel Bryan, and he's like, huh? What are you doing? Get down from there. And then turns around, Punk kicks him in the face. However, AJ being on the apron at all, Punk's like, what are you doing up there? And this leads Daniel to be able to run over, finish taking off the turnbuckle, and then Daniel Bryan drops Punk face first onto the top turnbuckle and pins him. AJ Lee being the cause of somebody losing a match.
While trying to be helpful,
right?
To that person.
That's gonna be a theme. I forgot to do this, but I think it's time to break out the lyrics segment again because I think
oh shit, buddy.
Because I think I have the perfect song to describe AJ Lee on this episode in relation to AJ and the guys here.
All right, culture us, please.
It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Miss her, kiss her, love her. Wrong move, you're dead. That girl is poison. Never trust a big butt and a smile. That girl is poison. Thank you, Belle, Biv, and DeVoe.
Such a moving reading. Oh, I'm in tears. Oh, beautiful. I mean, what do I even say to that? It's just absolutely yes. Yes, that is the perfect encapsulation. No notes. 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
More
All
lyrics. Right. Lyrics always. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So AJ, I should have kept a running tally on this to be specific, but yes, so far on this series, AJ Lee supported person 0-1.
You want to talk
up,
about running tallies? I feel like with the tropes in this arc, you could make a drinking game out of shit in this
probably
arc.
Could actually drink every time CM Punk says he digs crazy chicks. Drink every time AJ costs someone a match when she doesn't mean to.
Drink every time she kisses someone. Drink every time she gives like fuck me eyes.
Finish your glass every time she kisses someone new.
Oh, true. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like we could make a drinking game out of this. One of these days, Austin, we gotta have a special episode where we actually like make a drinking game out of like some shit that we're watching if it's properly tropified. Because I feel like, oh boy, we could have a time.
We could. All right. So after the match, Kane comes down to attack Daniel Bryan with a chair some more. He chokeslams Daniel Bryan onto the chair. He goes to attack. Kane goes to attack Punk, but AJ slick slides Punk a chair into the ring. Punk attacks Kane with the chair, and I wrote AJ looks really into this.
You know, there is. I'll talk more about this when we get to the end of the episode, I think. But there is an alternate version of this story that exists in an alternate universe that I think is great. And I would like to see it explored more, but I will get into that more later on.
Okay. Before we exit out of this episode, I noted right here at the end of this match, a Regal or Riot sign based.
Fucking true. Absolutely true.
All right.
More Regal always.
Moving on to
and fun fact, the person holding that sign was Excalibur.
Ha little known fact.
Little known fact. Dude, I need there to be like an influx of like Regal Excalibur Yowie. All right.
All right. I'm sure I will be scouring DeviantArt for that. I'm sure I can find some.
Probably.
All right.
Like you could pretty
Moving on to the June 1st SmackDown. All right. So this is the thing we skipped because it really doesn't matter. It's so unimportant. I didn't even tell David about it when trying to tell him about stuff we skipped. But
really?
CM Punk has an interview with Matt Striker, and Matt Striker asks him because in the main event of this episode will be Punk versus Kane for the WWE title. Punk is like John Laurinaitis, Little Johnny as I call him, is putting me in this match and trying to screw me out of my title, make me lose my title. But it's okay. I welcome the competition. And he's like, Kane is tough, and Kane has a lot of nicknames. But I have a nickname too, the best in the world. And later tonight, the best in the world will make the devil's favorite demon go to sleep.
All right, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nothing interview. That's why I cut it. But then later in the show, AJ Lee is backstage. She's hanging out. She's in her CM Punk gear now.
Absolutely.
And Daniel Bryan comes up to her and is immediately like, "What are you doing? Do you think Punk honestly cares about you? He's just using you. He thinks you're a nut job like everyone else around here.
CM Punk is just using you, and I would know that as the expert in using you.
I would know how to use you. I know what it's like.
I know what that looks like, AJ. Listen to me, kid."
Yep. And she's like, she is like, "Shut up. Wait, I think you're just jealous." To be fair, she kind of has a point about this as time goes on, I think. And she's like, "What do you care anyway?" And Daniel Bryan is like, "Ha, I don't. But I did once." And he gets all close to her. And he's like, "And that's more than you can say about CM Punk."
Yeah, sure. DB sure doesn't have any weird complex about how Punk has won AJ's affection here. Nope. No, sir. He
is not mad about this, that AJ is moving on at all.
Not one bit.
Perfectly happy. He has moved on He is ready to move on, so he is happy that she is moving on. Clearly.
He's fine. This is fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yep. We get to the match, CM Punk versus Kane for the WWE title.
And yeah, I mean, it's
actually
just
it's pretty enjoyable. It follows
the work on the work throughout what we watched tonight was actually like pretty fucking solid across the board. I would give it that.
Yeah.
You know, shock of all shocks when you're actually focusing on like some of your company's top workers and focused on them like just being able to do their work together. Shockingly, you're actually going to come out with some pretty good shit. Who'd have thunk? Crazy.
You let the wrestlers wrestle, and look what happens.
Absolutely. Wrestling on my sports entertainment show? Be gone.
Wrestling on my wrestling show, it's more likely than you think.
It's more like Vince McMahon hates him. Top 10 tricks to get more wrestling on your wrestling show.
Vince McMahon hates number 4.
Yeah.
So the match is very much it follows a formula they're following with Kane a lot right now, is that he is biggest and the strongest. So CM Punk is fighting, he's toughing it out, but you know it's hard because like Kane is really strong, and he just kind of has to hit Punk once and Punk is down.
Yeah, pretty much.
And at one point CM Punk goes up to the top rope. And Kane knocks him to the floor, and this is when AJ comes running out to check on Punk from a very safe distance away from where Kane is.
Oh, an extremely safe distance. She's like, oh, she's backing up.
Mm-hmm.
As the match also at some point, we missed this. Two things we missed before like this match kind of really gets underway is commentary. I think it was Michael Cole saying the divas in the back say Daniel Bryan is a lover, which
when they're after that video, Josh Matthews is like incredulous that Daniel Bryan is pestering his ex-girlfriend that he allegedly doesn't care about, and Michael Cole's response is, well, you know, is it Daniel Bryan is a lover? All the divas in the back say so.
And also we also gotta so X to doubt on that one. But also, we got a fucking promo. We got a video packet for Cesaro who's on his way to SmackDown. Good old Swiss,
Antonio
baby.
Cesaro. This is OG Cesaro when he is an ex-rugby player that is too violent. Which, fun fact, as someone who's getting back into WWE now, they did that exact fucking thing for Marcel Bartel in the Imperium. On SmackDown, they talk about him. He's like, yes, he was a rugby player, but he was too violent. I'm like, what?
Marcel,
we're doing it again?
Why, it was so nice they had to do it twice for.
Well, actually, I don't remember what his new name is because they changed all their names. Because Imperium was Walter, Fabian Eichner, and Marcel Bartel.
Oh,
and Walter is now Gunter.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I think Fabian Eichner is Ludwig Kaiser. And I forget what... let me quickly... I got to Google this for posterity. Marcel Bartel is now... Marcel Bartel is Ludwig Kaiser. My mistake. It was Fabian Eichner then.
Ludwig Kaiser? Are you shitting me?
Because
that's somehow a dumber name than Marcel Bartel.
Marcel Bartel is his real name, and Ludwig Kaiser is his, well, do you get it? Because he's German name.
Marcel Bartel sounds like French.
Oh, my mistake. Fabian Eichner, who is Italian, and he is the guy who they talked about the rugby thing is. His new name is Giovanni Vinci.
What?
Imperium is still great. But, my God, did they change all their names to be from their real names to being who brother? Those are stereotypes. Who brother?
And good to know that even in the new game era of WWE, that company will never be above giving their superstars new dumb fuck nicknames.
Yes. Anyway, my point is apparently they really like, if they have a European and they want to show how violent they are, they're a rugby player who got kicked out for being too violent.
Which is just a fucking like European redux of the one dude from New Generation who was like a baseball player who got kicked out for being too violent at baseball or fucking whatever.
That was Knuckleball Schwartz, and
Knuckleball Schwartz, yeah.
the guy who was just there to be like the players, the players locked out. It's actually a good thing that the players stop playing baseball for more money, because you fans are ungrateful assholes. It's actually all your fault.
Oh yeah, he was there to do anti-union apologia.
Yeah, it was fun times.
Great shit.
Anyway, back to our match here. I made a note of Michael Cole complaining that AJ needs to simply move on after 2 whole months of being broken up with, which is like, I don't know, Cole, that seems a little rude. Everyone moves on in their own time.
Yeah, no, Cole. I mean, Cole's just playing weird defense for the heels because, of course, he is.
Yeah, this is Kane has Punk in a choke slam, and Punk counters into a DDT. I thought that was dope as shit.
I also actually had a note about that. Punk fucking countered DDTs out of Kane's choke slam. That was so nice. Holy shit.
And then Punk goes for the GTS, but Kane is too big and his knee collapsed under him. This will come up again later.
Yes, planning and payoff.
I love it when there are callbacks in matches, but we'll get to that when we do. CM Punk goes up to the top rope to go for the Macho Man elbow drop. AJ points out to him that Daniel Bryan is coming to interfere. And Punk immediately pivots to dive onto Bryan. That was pretty cool. AJ was helpful. It's like a miracle.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was kind of surprised that it ended up in more bullshit. Kane is very frustrated that Punk won't die. Punk is very frustrated that Kane won't die, and that DB's here to deal with some bullshit too. I will say, or to dish out some bullshit. I will say something I really noticed in this match, that as a CM Punk fan, problematic fave though he may have proved himself to be, something that I've really noticed kind of watching him across a whole bunch of like different things between modern AEW and earlier WWE and now 2012 WWE, like something that seems consistent for him no matter where he's being booked that I really like is he's constantly being booked as like one of the most tenacious wrestlers in the biz. Like Punk is not a wrestler who gets booked in pretty much any case to go down easy. Like even against like fucking big boys like Kane or Wardlow in AEW, this is a man who will go after time and time again and like just will not go down until he just cannot do anything anymore. And like a lot of wrestlers are booked to be tenacious. The cool thing about Punk's character is he's able to play himself off as, no matter like how established he gets in the industry, so scrappy that the way he endures, his tenacity, really, really sticks out as just like this kind of inner raw strength that comes from just like the sheer willpower of being the bastard that CM Punk is alone. Which it's just cool to see that be such a consistent beat for his character throughout his entire like career.
Oh no, I agree. So the match ends because Kane goes for the choke slam and Daniel Bryan does a double drop kick, causing a no contest.
We sure are doing a lot of like fucking DQ finishes here, so we don't have to power down Kane too much.
Yeah, we're in a precarious spot here, that kind of thing.
Like, we gotta have Kane lose a decent amount, but also we can't make him look like too much of a bitch.
All right, so AJ's preferred wrestler is now 0, 1, and 1. Because that is a draw, technically. So 0, 1, 1. Great. Then Daniel Bryan does a bazillion yes kicks to Punk. Punk clotheslines him out of the corner. Punk goes for the GTS. Kane finally gets back up and hits a double choke slam. Kane hits his pyro.
Yeah, I
And
know. Kane makes Flair go. I always mean to look for like the special fiery ring posts whenever it's a Kane episode, and then I completely forget to, and then it pops out, and I was like, "Fuck, I wasn't looking." God.
Yeah, and I'll say that shit is hot as hell.
Oh yeah.
You can notice. It feels hotter in the arena when those things go off.
Damn. I mean, that makes sense. Basically, just kind of got 4 flamethrowers running simultaneously for a hot second.
Yeah. So as Kane walks to the back, out comes John Laurinaitis, who is in a wheelchair because he's still injured.
Yeah, John
from
Laurinaitis
his
now doing his
over
best
the
fucking
limit match.
smart Mark Sterling cosplay.
And Eve Torres, his executive assistant, who
Yes.
is, and John Laurinaitis now announces that the match at No Way Out is a triple threat match. Which he doesn't technically say it's CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan versus Kane.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It could be CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan versus Zack Ryder for all we know.
This is true. He's just like, unrelated thought. No, but
it's just come to me.
It's just
this should be a 3-way match at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, just he's got those dollar signs spinning in his eyes, and yeah, I guess that'll just bring in ratings.
AJ is all sad and nervous because now Punk has a much tougher road to keeping that belt.
Yeah.
All right. We move on to the June 4th episode of Raw. We skipped most of this because the main beat is Kane versus CM Punk again. But this time, there must be a winner. So I was like, if we're only going to watch one fucking Kane versus Punk match, we're going to watch the one where they announce the pay-per-view match.
Yeah, we
was
need
my
to do too.
Recommendation there. But I will say that before the match, Daniel Bryan comes out, gets on the announce table with a mic, and he does Q&A time where he's like, is AJ delusional? Yes. Will Kane destroy CM Punk tonight? Yes. And will I win at No Way Out? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Then the match happens with Bryan out on commentary, being obnoxious some more.
As he does, yes.
Yeah, while the ref's back is turned, Bryan kicks Punk on the outside. AJ Lee runs down in a Punk shirt, and then AJ tries to jump up on the apron to interfere. Daniel Bryan walks over her and is like, "You get down from there."
Again.
Punk dives at Bryan from the outside. He rolls back into the ring and gets choke slammed and pinned. AJ's preferred wrestler, 0, 2, and 1. This is just going to keep getting worse. So then AJ checks on Punk. And Kane is still in the ring. And AJ is like scared of him and is backing away from Kane. Then Daniel Bryan, for some reason, decides to try to Pearl Harbor Kane. And that completely fails. Kane just turns around, boots him right in the face, and Bryan's gone.
Brian's like, dead.
Get the fuck out of here, man. And then at this is when AJ, who backs away into the corner, and she stands up and looks at Kane, and suddenly she smiles at him.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So, David, I had to explain this to David, and then we saw the replay of it on the next episode of SmackDown. So I will ask him more about his thoughts on that bit then, unless he would like to mention it now. Because
I don't have like that many thoughts on it in general. It's just we're throwing Kane into the because my main thoughts here were just like noting the like plot necessity of having AJ do this, because Kane has had significant others, but he's not one to get like easily smitten out of nothing. So in order to like add Kane to this feud, because we're doing that for, I don't know, reasons, they felt like doing that to spice it up, but they're like, shit, if we're gonna get Kane in on this while we're also running this AJ Lee thing, that means we have to fucking get him involved with the romance shit too.
Right, because like if it was just CM Punk and Bryan, it would kind of feel a little lopsided here because Kane is both portrayed as the strongest wrestler and he's not distracted by AJ.
Yeah. So they had to. So AJ's just like electing to now give fuck me eyes to Kane because why not? She's crazy.
All right. So after the match, and we did watch this part, is AJ is Josh Matthews comes up to her backstage and is like, "What was that look you gave Kane?" And she goes, "What look was that, Josh?" And then, okay, so as I don't remember at what point in this promo she does it, but she grabs Josh by his necktie. And I wrote down literally her entire quote. I like when men look at me, Josh. Look at me! Because he had like looked down a little in fear.
Fucking writing, dude.
And then she's like, you seem a little uncomfortable, Josh. Are you okay? Do you not like aggressive women? Because I do. Me and AJ both like aggressive women.
AJ Lee, bisexual confirmed.
Pronouns, baby. That's how you do it. And then she kind of thinks on it and she's like, you know what, Josh? You just might be my type, and pats him on the head and leaves.
AJ Lee likes bottoms.
Yeah. So this whole storyline,
which I have to say is, considering how she's all of a sudden like throwing eyes at Kane, tells me that she's picturing him in a gimp suit.
All right. So, okay. I know that my shipping brain is clearly just not going to look at this storyline with that much of a problem.
Okay.
But I will cop to this, is that as much as AJ is a little indecisive throughout this arc, I don't totally like the bit that like her being attracted to multiple dudes at once and kind of going back and forth around it is portrayed as crazy, which is the main beat of what makes her crazy. Is that she's jumping back and forth romantically between CM Punk and Kane and kind of Daniel too, but not totally as much. And I think that that's stupid. Okay,
so I was going to save this for the end of the episode, but you're bringing this up now, and this also just happens to be kind of where I made a note about this while watching. So I guess I will respond to that with kind of my kind of thoughts that came about while watching this segment, because clearly you and I kind of both had thoughts during this segment. So the way that it was during the I like when men look at me, Josh. Look at me. Do you not like strong women? I kind of had this moment of we could have gotten there could have been an interesting story here. And it was only bolstered by kind of what we got at the end of the episode. We could have gotten like this ultimate like gaslight gatekeep girl boss thing going on from AJ instead of this gross shit. Now, no, I need to clarify, because you can do gaslight gatekeep girl boss and still have it be like fucking weird and gross. Just look at Lion King 2019 or whatever with like girl boss Shenzi.
Shouts out Shinzi.
Shouts out girl boss Shenzi. I think I'll split this into two parts, and the second part of this I will talk about like later on in the episode, because I've got this like idea brewing in my mind. But there is a version of this you could do where it's not just like AJ's crazy and like that's just her character trait and it makes her some like weird psychosexual prize to be won between one of these three men. And it's very frustrating to me that this is the version that we're getting. Because there's so much that could be done with this more on that later.
I don't want to talk too much about the gaslight gatekeep girl boss thing with knowledge of how this arc plays out. I don't want to say anything about it at the moment.
Okay. I guarantee you where my mind is going is definitely not where this arc is going, because where my mind is going is impossible, but I will also keep that in mind.
All right. So we move on to the June 8th episode of SmackDown. We get the WWE rewind of events from the June 4th Raw. As I talked to David about while I was talking about the planning of this arc, is that I really appreciate in this moment. I know that the last episode I was like, man, WWE 12 has too many fucking recaps, man. But like when I'm trying,
it really came in handy this time.
When I'm trying to take an entire pay-per-view cycle and put it into 2 hours. The fact that the actual important plot beat from June 4th will get recapped on SmackDown later in the week makes it a lot easier for me to just be like, skip that Raw. David will see what he needs to see. And that's it.
It's so good.
It's very convenient in that way. Backstage, though, Kane is backstage. And Matt Striker wants to interview him, and he talks about how Kane has a unique opportunity tonight. And I was like, is
oh no,
Dario here?
Dario's taking notes, baby.
All right, there's a unique opportunity here tonight to face Sheamus because he's the world heavyweight champion. He wants to know his feelings on all of everything going on here. Kane opens with, I don't have any feelings.
I don't have any X. First of all,
X. Anyway, he's just like, blah, blah, blah. He asks Sheamus how he felt. Asked CM Punk how he felt when I choke slammed him. And asked Daniel Bryan how he felt when I hit him with a chair. And yada, I'm going to win tonight, blah, blah, blah. And then Striker asks him about the look between him and AJ, and I wrote, Kane doesn't dignify that with a response. And walks away. And as he walks down the hallway, AJ Lee was creeping behind the crates.
Oh my God.
Pops out.
That was insane. We get the shot of Kane walking down a hallway, and as he like goes off screen, AJ just kind of like slinks out from between some crates. I was like, fucking Jesus, where did you come from? But also, like, while she was concealed to the camera, she was not like concealed if you were like walking past her in the hallway, which means, God, Kane's gotta have some shitty peripheral vision in that.
Yeah, that mask, man, it's hard to see.
It's tough.
Have the real peripheral vision.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. That shit's like made out of hard plaster or something, and it's like covering toward the back of the eye. I imagine, like, you know, he's just not, and he's got all the hair too. You know between
the wig hair and the mask, I don't know why he wanted to put the mask back on.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. Like, Stryker was fucking like here for the tea. Like, Stryker's big.
Stryker was here for the tea all night. When he popped up, he was here to just ask the saucy gossip questions.
Guarantee you, Stryker's a fucking big fan of The Bachelor. Goddamn you. Also, one thing I want to shout out from the recap we did get, Austin was so like beautifully talking about like the utility of the recaps. I completely forgot to touch on this, but when we get the moment of like AJ being like first scared of Kane, but then like kind of walking up to him and being like, ooh, Kane just kind of like silently looks at her and like kind of tilts his head back and forth, and all I could think was Kane going, "Your name wouldn't happen to be Katie, would it?" And I will try to limit my Katie Vick jokes from here on out to one per episode.
Oh, I got a few references to
I
that,
know.
But I made my notes for to bring it up. All right. So on the June 8th SmackDown, that Kane and Sheamus match, it ends in a DQ because Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez run out to interfere.
Yeah.
But after the match, Kane has got Sheamus goozled for the choke slam. Absolutely. And AJ runs down to stare longingly at Kane, is how I wrote it. And Kane is like, "Huh?" And then turns around, bro kick from Sheamus.
Absolutely.
Not technically another loss for AJ's wrestler because AJ had nothing to do with that. But once again, she continues to be a curse upon whoever she is actively currently
jinx.
cheering for.
Yeah, no. When the one time she wasn't a curse was just she got fucking lucky.
Yep. All right. So we move on to the June 11th Raw. Daniel Bryan is coming out. The first thing out of Michael Cole's mouth is the weirdo meter as it relates to AJ is at an all-time high.
Yeah. Yep. I made a note of that too because, of course, Cole had to say some dumb shit like that. Oh my God. Yes, we get it. She's crazy. She's weird. All of you are horny about that and don't want to admit it, except for CM Punk.
That's honestly really annoying how much they push as her. Okay, here's the thing: is that later in the year, and I don't really remember when, so I'm not going to consider this a total spoiler for the arc, really. But AJ will develop kind of an extremely short temper and kind of an itchy finger at being called crazy. And so you could almost, in that way, justify seeing her as crazy. But as of right now, all she has done is be a little broken up about being broken up with and is jumping around between dudes a little bit. Nothing that I would be like, that's some real crazy behavior.
Yeah, I don't get it. I understand what they're going for, and she's clearly doing the whole her affections jumping around, but holy shit, they're getting so weird about this, and it just comes across as everybody having a complex. Obviously AJ leans in more and more as this shit goes on, but God, it just comes across as everybody having a complex about being horny over her.
Yeah, it's weird. You could argue maybe she did go crazy just because everyone called her crazy for so long. She wasn't really doing anything that weird.
She's having I don't know, she's doing weird things. I will say she's doing she attacked her friend. She's having mood swings. She's wildly jumping her affections between men randomly. However, if these dudes could get their hands out of their fucking pants for a hot second, they could maybe think, AJ just got out of a weird abusive relationship with a complete narcissist. Maybe that could make her
really struggling with, and she's clearly struggling with that.
Maybe that could make her prone to some mental health issues. But no, we just have to fetishize the fact that she's crazy.
Yeah, no, I won't defend that part of this arc because I think it's stupid.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. For me, that overtakes this fucking arc because that's the central theme here, and it's just gross. The work is good, and the promo cutting is good, and God, they're all selling this material, but God, the material is fucking gross.
I guess
at least to my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mine's too fried, too late. But back to the speaking of promos, which I thought there was a really good promo back and forth for this bit here, is Daniel Bryan comes out and he explains that he does one of these things is not like the other.
One of these superstars is not like the other one. And Austin and I had the back and forth of one of them is a demon, one of them is a Republican. Same thing.
Oof. But what Daniel Bryan was getting at is that both Kane and CM Punk have a weakness, a 95-pound distraction. And in Daniel's mind, with Punk, it's all about jealousy because Daniel Bryan proved that he was the superior wrestler.
Yeah.
I don't think you did, but whatever.
It needs to get good.
And now he is trying to get with Daniel's ex as some means of trying to make him jealous, which he is totally not, by the way.
All right. 3 things here for when he moves on to the AJ portion of this promo I need to point out. First of all, he talks about AJ as a distraction, and he's this little 100 whatever pound
95.
what?
95-pound distraction named
This
AJ.
little 95-pound distraction, which Daniel Bryan listing off AJ's weight in a sport where people are billed for their weight, and it still comes off as fucking creepy.
Impressive,
and
really.
Second, I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. He insists as he slowly shrinks down and turns into a corn cob.
Yeah. And then he says with Kane, he thinks it's second base when a woman looks at you without vomiting. Now, I hate to bring up all of these storylines, but
plot hole.
Kane has had a girlfriend, Tori, who was stolen from him by X-Pac. Katie Vick was his high school girlfriend.
That's not canon anymore. It doesn't count.
And Lita was forcibly married and had his baby until the miscarriage thing happened. So I think Kane knows what second base is. As much as I don't want to think about any of those storylines, the part of my brain that refuses to accept plot holes is like, shut up, Kane. No, Kane knows what romance is.
Yeah,
and,
but none of those count. They all look too bad for the company, so none of them count.
And then after that, Daniel Bryan says that AJ should be grateful that she had even a moment with all of this. And then the peak, one of the best Daniel Bryan lines, I may argue, is he kind of caps all this off with talking about how hot he is and how AJ was lucky to be with him. Yeah. Once you go Bryan, there's no point in trying.
Yeah! What? What words just came out of your mouth, sir?
Absolutely incredible.
Hate.
I loved it
Fucking
so much.
Christ.
And then anyway, CM Punk comes out.
Once you go, Bryan, you always want that dick.
Hell yeah, man.
They just keep finding PG ways to say Daniel Bryan's cock is fucking massive.
Absolutely.
God damn.
And then, okay, CM Punk comes out, and he opens with, for someone who claims he's no longer interested in AJ, you sure do talk about her a lot.
True. Punk saying what I've always been thinking.
And then CM Punk, he's like, AJ is pretty cool. And I've gotten to know her a little bit. And we both have something in common. You. Because outside of the ring, AJ is way out of your league. And inside of the ring, I'm way out of your league.
He's real fucking proud of that comparison. And, which, you know what? Fair and true. That's for true.
And then Punk reaffirms to us all that he does in fact dig crazy chicks.
That's number 2. Ugh.
Frank. And
Daniel Bryan says wrestling fans are fickle or something.
We'll get to that, don't you worry. And then he talks about how at No Way Out, either I'm gonna beat that deranged, out of his mind freak, or I'll beat Kane. Like the old fake out reverse-a-roo joke.
Yeah, we this is like 2 fake outs as to one of these wrestlers is not like the other one.
Yeah. And so Daniel Bryan cuts in at this point and he goes, What happened to you, Punk? I used to respect you, but you've changed. You call yourself the voice of the voiceless, but now you pander to everybody. And these people are voiceless because they have nothing intelligent to say.
Yeah, they fucking question they start to question each other's indie stripes to each other of like, you've sold out to the mainstream.
Real indie cred fight here. Bryan calls Punk a sellout, and Punk is like, all right. He references how almost a year ago to the day is he sat on that stage and he voiced his grievances and how people constantly tell him how great it was. One of the best moments in the Raw's 1,000 episodes. And he finds this a little weird because those people didn't like him before he did that promo, and it's fine because he doesn't like those people either. And how Punk says that he has never changed. He got to the top succeeding on his own terms. He never compromised. He never kissed anybody's ass. And meanwhile, him and Bryan, they used to be similar, but now Bryan is a self-absorbed, delusional, obnoxious, goat-faced moron.
Get used to, yeah, that's another thing. Fucking take a shot every time Punk starts calling Daniel Bryan a goat face. Because for some reason, that comes up a lot too.
This is going to become a defining feature of Daniel Bryan's remaining time as a heel, is people calling him a goat face. And it all starts here.
Why? Why is that the thing that stuck? Whatever.
I don't know, but it's Daniel Bryan has a few good quips about that. It's like in the first episode of there's a lot of funny goat face jokes in the anger management bits.
Sure.
Featuring Daniel Bryan's famous quote, "I am not a goat face, I am handsome."
Actually, you know what? Thinking about that, I actually kind of like that as like a point for DB, good old DB, to overcome. That's actually cute and clever. I will give that a pass. And I hope we can one day actually fucking watch this heel anger management arc between him and Kane,
I want to do it so
really
bad.
Adorable.
It's so funny. I want to do it so bad. We have to watch when Kane and Daniel Bryan parody When Harry Met Sally.
Absolutely.
The scene in the diner.
See, that's goofy 2012 shit I can get on board with.
That was so good. Anyway, back to our start. The goat face chants break out, and oh brother, it's begun.
Yeah.
So Punk reiterates his long, lengthy insult, and he says that on Sunday I'm giving you a wake up call. Ironically, when I put you to sleep.
Also, like, fucking, may I just say that when on Punk's side of this promo, he kind of low-key says that he doesn't like a lot of his fans and just gets away with that.
That sounds about right for Punk, I think.
The crowd says harder, daddy.
Like, CM Punk absolutely screams the kind of guy who is like, you hates bandwagoners. He absolutely resonates that energy.
He hates bandwagoners, but he can live with them when they're being useful idiots for him.
Yeah. Voice of the voiceless, everybody.
Voice of the voiceless, a fucking hipster.
Here comes Kane. And Kane is, let me remind the two of you who or what I am. And Kane then references clearly some of the best of his storylines, where he lit JR on fire. That was actually pretty dope. Electrocuting Shane's testicles. We talked about that at the end of our Ruthless Aggression bit. And when he tombstoned a priest. I'm pretty sure that was when he interrupted Matt Hardy and Lita's wedding. Pretty sure that's when that was.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but
okay,
hold up. I glossed over that because there's something that I really need to. He set fire to JR.
Yeah, JR did right pretty soon after he had unmasked. Jim Ross did a sit-down interview with Kane, and it ended with Kane lighting JR on fire.
What? First of all, why would you do that to my good boy?
Because he's a sadistic monster.
Second of all, how the fuck did they pull? I can understand how they can pull off an on fire thing with fucking Fiend, who is covered head to toe in shit, to like cover for him while on fire. How the fuck do you get away with doing that with goddamn Jim Ross?
I've never really thought about it. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to be on fire that long. His clothes can be on fire, and then they can just put it out.
Jesus, that sounds deeply horrifying.
We should probably watch that episode sometime. It's kind of an iconic one.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll think about it. Back to Kane's point. His kind of point is my pipe bombs are actual pipe bombs.
Yeah, we gotta keep lampshading the pipe bomb thing.
Hell yeah, man! The pipe bomb was the big thing. We gotta always bring it up. It's become Punk's thing now. He does pipe bombs. Then out comes AJ asking all of them to stop. And like with most of AJ's quotes in this episode, I find them fascinating and thus wanted to get them word for word. Made a lot of effort here. So, her promo is, Kane, regardless of what you say, I looked into your eyes and I saw that deep down in that tortured soul, you actually have a heart. And CM Punk immediately jumps in to be like, you gotta love crazy chicks, man. And then crazy chicks. Da 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 da.
Okay. I gotta distract from this promo for a second. To point out the sign I noticed in the crowd for Ken's cards, and I was confused by this because I was like, because I saw like two separate signs, like decently like kind of spaced out from each other on hard cam side that were Ken's cards, and I was like, what is this a reference to something? Is this like two people just happen to like be referencing a thing? So I took it upon myself to look it up.
Oh my God.
Because I had to know. Ken's Cards and Collectibles is a Connecticut-based sports merch store who have the Bella Twins in their store as their Facebook profile pic. So these were just fucking dudes who were advertising their store. That's definitely them.
What kind of hacks try to hawk their shit on a wrestling show with a sign? What kind of absolute amateurs and marks?
You're just mad they actually got on TV. I've looked back on our episode of Dynamite. You cannot see shit when Moxley comes close to us. You can't see shit. They didn't have the camera up nearly enough.
Well, it was our best shot anyway.
Ugh.
Anywho, back to the AJ's promo. And Daniel, they say you never truly get over your first love, and I haven't. And then Punk looks over at AJ looks over at Punk, and she's getting all bashful now. She's like, Punk, you're pretty much the coolest guy I've ever known in my entire life. And at this point, Daniel's like, all right, what is all this about, AJ? And AJ's like, well, the thing is, on this Sunday, I know that the best man will win. And I'm like, that feels so fucking ominous.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? Why did you make it sound like that? Okay. So now I think it's time. This is the best moment for Shipper Brain to take on over here.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
All right. I mean, clearly we could just be lazy about this and be like, Polycule, right? That could solve so many of our problems.
Yeah, yet another problem that could be solved
every time.
But every single time.
Here is my read on AJ's feelings for. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait till we get through the Kane bits with her, because that I think that will help inform my argument.
Okay.
So we'll come back to this then. I just realized that there's a better point to talk about it. Okay. So Johnny Ace goes on the Titantron, pops up on the Titantron to be like, oh yeah, but he has a very special match for Raw. Okay, so for some context to what's happening on this episode of Raw is that John Laurinaitis' abusive powers have gone so far that Vince McMahon is doing a job evaluation for him on this special 3-hour Raw. And at the end of the night, he will reveal whether or not John Laurinaitis is going to be fired. So John Laurinaitis is trying to appease the boss. And so for tonight, he puts a very special kind of match. Daniel Bryan and Kane versus CM Punk and AJ Lee.
Yeah. Okay. So shit's getting wild, but also based Johnny Ace for commissioning an intergender tag match?
Yeah,
What?
I mean, as you'll see, people talk about it like it was a glorified handicap match, but also they never say that AJ can't fight the male wrestlers. They just say she shouldn't.
That doesn't seem right.
It feels like one of those things of like how WWE gets when they, on the rare occasions they want to do intergender stuff, how they get around that, which we'll get there in the match, how they get around this concern. But they never explicitly are like, AJ cannot fight the men. This is literally a handicap match. They treat it more as like AJ is a 95-pound woman, so she will be no help whatsoever.
But like the fact that they're willing to like in theory book that at all, just like in the kayfabe world, is like, well, damn, I ain't complaining.
Yeah. All right. So later in the show, backstage, AJ is freaking out about this because she's like, "Oh shit, I would prefer it if I don't get murderized by Kane and Daniel Bryan. Thanks."
Yeah.
And Punk goes over to calm her down, and he's like, "Hey, don't worry about it." He's like, and he mentions that the edge they have over Daniel and Kane is that they trust each other. To which AJ tries to pop up, and we really, really like each other, right? As well,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, sure, yeah,
long pause.
Long pause.
That. But then Punk tells her to stay on the apron and don't tag in and try to go against base instincts here and don't do anything crazy.
Yeah, unbased Punk tells AJ not to participate. Boo.
Yeah. Boo. And then AJ kisses Punk on the cheek as she walks away. She's ready to go now.
Yep.
Right,
Okay.
So match number 4 of the night of our show here: Kane and Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. This is where Jerry Lawler on commentary is like, I can't imagine Kane having a romantic partner. Which I wrote, Kane has been married, Jerry.
Like, I don't know. I'm just not questioning it. I don't
want to remember these story arcs, but I do. Why don't you, Jerry?
I think they're just desperate to not have this shit be canon. I think that's it. Mm-hmm. Every time it's a bad look, and they've realized that now, and they're like, okay,
I guess the only thing they could think to do with Kane as it relates to this storyline is weird virgin? Question mark?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so the match kind of doesn't. The match is really short. It barely kind of goes anywhere. But Kane kind of knocks Punk into AJ, and she accidentally tags in, and Jerry Lawler is hand wringing about how the refs just not let AJ be involved in this, legally speaking.
Hey, shut up! Fuck you.
But she's staring.
She's as much a participant as anyone else.
Yeah, she's kind of scared. Kane is like, I don't really know what to do in this situation because I don't really want to attack you or anything.
Big fucking, hey, big guy, sun's getting real low energy here. That's all I could think of.
I can't believe I'm not the one who made that.
Yeah, I hate that I'm the one who made that and not you. God damn it.
But eventually AJ smiles up at Kane, prances around him with her little skippy thing she does. She ends up behind him. He turns around. She jumps into his arms and wraps her legs around his waist, and then they start making out right there.
Yep. And she gets down, and Kane nopes the fuck out of there.
I wrote yes, chance breakout, LMAO. Yep. The crowd is really into watching Kane and AJ make out.
Because of course they are.
Hell yeah.
Because to them, Kane is their self-insert at this point. Because again, everyone has a weird complex about wanting to fuck AJ, including the crowd.
Yeah. So Kane just is shell-shocked. He's like, he can't believe what just happened. So he forcefully tags out Bryan, gets out of the ring, and just walks out of here.
Yeah, nopes the hell out immediately. And Kane...
He probably jizzed in his pants or something. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit. Jizz in my
pants.
Yeah, but Daniel Bryan, on the other hand, has
He's
absolutely no problem.
He's not going to fall for these tricks.
Daniel Bryan absolutely has no problem kicking AJ's ass, and that definitely doesn't say anything about their past relationship.
Of course. So AJ's like, whoop, I'm out of here. Tags in Punk. Punk hits the Macho Man elbow drop on Bryan for the W.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Single gets BD down after a single top rope jump. Jesus.
Yeah. So after the match, everyone, CM Punk is kind of like, what was that, AJ? I watched it and I can't believe it. And then AJ decides to just keep stirring the pot a little more. She sits down cross-legged, just like Punk. And Punk is like, but you and him, but then now you are doing that like me. And like, what is happening? Punk can't follow this arc. He can't follow this.
Punk is, I will say, Punk is easily like the least weird person here. Like the I'm into crazy chicks thing is fucking gross, but this is clearly him just like remarking on something that makes him horny offhandedly, and it's like, all right, back to business.
All right,
and then anything else past that just gets him really fucking confused and awkward because he's like, I'm not. I wasn't prepared for this.
Hey, a little casual flirting is fine, but this is a little more farther than I wanted to go here.
I am very uncomfortable with the energy we've created in the studio today.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
and
then we move
someone on commentaries like, I may be like CM Punk, I might be starting to get into crazy chicks.
Shut the fuck up!
I think that was Michael Cole, which
There's no way Cole would say that. It has to be Lawler.
It might be. I feel like I would have said "shut the fuck up, Lawler" as my note, but it might have been Lawler.
There's no way Cole would say that.
Okay, well, either way, shut the fuck up, Lawler.
Yeah. All right, so the June 15th episode of SmackDown, we pretty much skipped this entirely, so I will go ahead and talk about most of what happens here. So AJ opens the show to explain why she kissed Kane. It's a very simple explanation. And then, excuse me! Vicky comes out and interrupts and is like, nobody cares, AJ. What people are talking about is Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph and Vicky come out. I wrote they throw barbs. I say that with a lot of stuff here. Vicky slaps AJ and she's like, I'm going to get out before I throw you out, little girl. And AJ gives Vicky like the crazy eyes. Like, I'm going to kill you. And Vicky like backs away. And then out comes Punk. He throws some barbs about how Dolph Ziggler is irrelevant and nobody cares.
Nobody gives a shit. I mean, true.
Yes.
I mean, look, I give far more of a shit about his brother than I do him. So
that's true. And then out comes Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan actually said some things that I was worth writing down about because I wrote Daniel would have called Punk a cuck if he could, because he's basically because he's very intrigued by Punk and AJ palling around here, considering that AJ was making out with Kane on Monday. He is very intrigued about this relationship here.
Oh, yeah.
And Bryan says the only thing better than learning from his mistakes is watching Punk and Kane make the exact same ones.
Not mad, not jealous.
Not mad at all. And then Sheamus comes out. They throw some barbs. And then I wrote, well, I guess the talking is over because AJ launches herself at Vicky Guerrero, but Punk holds her back. And this is all a setup for CM Punk and Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. We pick up at the end. We actually watched the very end of this because I wanted to show the Kane AJ stuff at the end of this, and I felt that was worth putting in there. I thought about not including it. It was a bit of a last-minute addition on my part. But the match ends when Vicky tries to interfere on Dolph's behalf, and AJ jumps up to stop Vicky. But in doing so, she distracts Sheamus, and Dolph Ziggler rolls up Sheamus. So AJ's preferred wrestler.
Once again.
0-4-1. I could maybe give her the 1 because if she did win the intergender tag match, except she also made out with Kane in that match, and
So
Kane
who's to
lost.
say who she prefers?
So who's to say? But when in matches where she is just interfering, 0-4-1.
Absolutely.
Not a
The
great
curse-
record this week. The curse continues.
AJ Lee, more cursed than the Aztec medallions. And that's the God's honest truth, baby.
Yep. So Vicky and AJ brawl. Vicky kicks AJ into the ring apron, and that gives her a chance to run away.
Well, AJ, like, you missed the part where AJ, like, goes fucking attack mode on Vicky. Like, she goes into Vicky,
right.
and Vicky pushes her a little bit, and AJ gets this, like, now I can do violence to you look on her face, and just goes the fuck after Vicky. And Vicky's only able to get away after she, like, she gets AJ outside and is able to, like, knock her into the ring post, or into the ring apron. And then Kane shows up.
I feel like as much as you may or may not have any questions about the material here, in this arc, I do think that if I'm supposed to believe that AJ is like crazy and having mood swings constantly, that AJ herself as an actor is really good at portraying that in her face.
No, I agree.
At like switching emotions on her face on a dime.
I agree. Everyone here is doing great stuff with the material they're given, and AJ Lee I can see why she got over.
This is her breakthrough angle.
This is a breakout angle, to be sure. This shows like an insane range as a performer. I mean, God forbid we actually get to see her do some like really good in-ring work here. But God,
she ain't wrestling. Fuck that.
Yeah, as an actress, she sells this insanely well to the point where I can even be like compelled by her performance. It's just that the material is fucking gross.
Well, agree, disagree. For the most part.
Stupid shipping brain grumble.
Grumble, fuck off. Anyway, so Vicky runs off after knocking AJ down. Kane comes out
He comes to save the
day. He comes to carry AJ off to the back. And Punk is like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, Punk is here too. There's so much fighting.
Now, so Kane and Punk brawl back to the ring. Kane chokeslams Punk and Bryan. And then AJ kneels down on the ramp and has like a weird look on her face. And then she starts like
vaguely aroused.
She starts smirking and laughing about everything.
Uncomfy. Very uncomfy. Can we move on, please?
Yeah, okay. Before we move on, I will say I wrote in my notes because this is what Booker T says to kind of end off the segment. AJ wants something. I don't know what it is. And of course, and my answer was she wants that big red cock. Booker.
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing is Ace King Booker T.
I don't think so.
Flies right over his head, baby. Doesn't even cross his mind what that could be.
No, he has no idea what AJ's looking for here. It's like, I don't know. I think it's super obvious what AJ's looking for here.
She is very horny about all of this.
Yeah. All right, we move on to No Way Out 2012.
And may I say, holy shit, I remarked this to you as we started it up. The fucking thumbnail for this on Peacock ruled. Because it's like AJ and Daniel Bryan in Western garb. And AJ... Go for it.
As the poster is this like Western aesthetic, and they're on the train tracks, but they role reverse it so that AJ is tying up Bryan onto the train tracks.
I think he's already tied, and she has like her boot up on him, and the train is coming, and Daniel Bryan is looking at the fucking camera going like, help me. Which, dope fucking thumbnail. That was awesome. I love that.
That pay-per-view poster is an all-timer.
That's an insane. Is that like a like?
Yeah, that's the official. That's the official poster for that paper.
Does that one get like recognized? Like this one was a metal fucking poster.
No one really talks about 2012, so no.
Boo!
It's pretty dope. It's very dope.
That's lame. Well, I thought it was awesome. I loved that goddamn poster. That ruled.
Yep. All right, No Way Out. Starting up, Punk. We cut to Punk backstage with an I Dig Crazy Chicks shirt.
Of
New
course,
merch.
That's merch now. Fuck off.
So Stryker, looking for that tea all night, asks Punk about his relationship with AJ, and Punk's like, "What relationship?"
Yeah, he's so not bought in, dude.
Yeah, no, his attitude is like, I dig crazy chicks, and I think she's hot and she's kind of cool, but like we are not banging. So
yeah,
and I'm staying focused on the WWE title.
It'd be fun to bang, but do I ultimately care? Like, nah.
And then AJ walks up to him and wishes him luck, kisses him on the cheek, and Punk's like, "Hey, thanks, but luck's for losers."
Yeah, again, Punk the only he's being weird, but still somehow the most normal one here.
Mm-hmm. And then later in the show, backstage, Daniel Bryan is doing some shadow boxing, getting ready.
Yep.
And AJ walks up to him, and he's kind of like, "What do you want? Stop distracting me." And AJ's like, "No, let me just say this: is that after everything they've been through, she's not over him." Bryan interjects like, "I don't care."
I don't give a shit. Okay, okay, buddy, sure.
And AJ wishes him luck, kisses him on the cheek, and Bryan still seems a little self-satisfied about that. And he goes back to shadow boxing. All right. Then later in the show, backstage, AJ is lurking backstage in the dark near the production crates where Kane would be, of course.
Yeah. And Kane is all, I'm trying to brood here. You interrupted my brooding.
Yeah. And then AJ, she can't really explain what's been going on between them, but she just wants to wish him luck and kiss him on the cheek. And Kane, as she goes to walk away, Kane pulls her back and they start making out again.
Oh, all yeah. Right. So Kane and AJ are the most established relationship in this, which is
all right. So let's
a choice.
Let's break down the shipping factors here. All right.
All right.
We are here. All right. So it's interesting. There's the way I see it is that obviously Daniel and AJ is a toxic relationship. Daniel is at absolute best a raging narcissist who uses AJ more for his own ends than he does care about her, and is vaguely abusive. It's one of those, again, we talked about it last time here, that we can't like go much farther into it than when we saw on screen, because it's 2012 PG WWE. So absolutely do not ship that one at all. No, sir. Then yes, Kane and AJ, it feels like a relationship really just built on sexual chemistry.
Without a doubt.
They are hot. They are hot and heavy for each other. This is the one where AJ's just looking for some fun. They're making out. This could have, if we were writing fan fiction about these characters, of which there is definitely fan fiction about these characters.
There's without a doubt fan fiction about these characters.
Of course, I've read some Kane and some AJ Lee fan fiction in my day.
You have? Wait, you know this for a fact? Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course. Not necessarily read Kane X AJ, to be fair, but I have read AJ Fix and Kane Fix.
You know what? Fair enough. That crossover is almost inevitable.
And there could be some real potential of like, I can fix the monster inside.
Oh, without a doubt.
Some real Phantom vibes, I may say.
But Kane also might be into like fixing her back or something, or at least like domesticating her. I don't know. There's something.
I don't
there.
like to think about that. That part's the weird part of this all bit. I don't like to think about that part.
Yes, it is very weird.
This is shipping fan fiction realm, baby. We're gonna smooth over the uncomfortable shit. That's what we do here. But their relationship, I don't know. I don't know if it would really work as a long-term ship. Not my thing at all. And then CM Punk versus AJ. As presented here, it's not looking great. Punk is kind of is a little bit playing around with her a little bit here. A little toying with her emotions. As he's clearly encouraging this flirtation because he's like, I dig crazy chicks, am I right? But then he is also explicitly being like, nah, not into her at all. Don't want nothing to do with that. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, he's just kind of like, he's like, she's cute. I like flirting. That's where it ends.
Yeah, sure, which is totally valid. I'll point out. But this is the shipping world here, so we're thinking in those terms. And I will say, if I had to have an OTP here, and quite frankly, I don't think I'm convinced about it. As OTPs go, I don't think I'm convinced by any of them.
No.
At this point in time. But if I'm forced to sit here and say, who do I ship AJ Lee with? My answer has to be CM Punk. And as of course a reminder, this is not a comment at all on their real life relationship because that's weird. It's weird to ship real people. And so even though yes, wrestling has a weird relationship between the real person and the fake person, we are specifically talking about the fictional, as presented on TV, fictional relationship between CM Punk and AJ Lee.
Yes. It is the least weird of them all, and it helps to know that they're an off-screen couple, but like still, woof.
We're be prepared for exciting potential developments in this arc as we go on. See what, if anything, could change here in my thoughts.
Yeah, Austin's got a whole internal fanfic to play out here.
Absolutely. If I was a fanfic writer, I could totally write this fic out.
Oh my god. This is fucking like a gold mine for you. Are you kidding me?
This absolutely reads like a fanfic written by a 15-year-old. And I love it for that. I could write a killer high school all universe of this exact thing where AJ Lee is the nerdy girl next door. Kane is Daniel Bryan is the popular jock. Kane is the goth weirdo. And CM Punk is the skateboard punk kid that is a teenage dirtbag, baby.
Fuck.
He listens to Iron Maiden, baby. I don't know how this became a weedest thing.
You've thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
Why, yes.
Yeah, of course.
God.
Why would
damn it.
Put it in his brain?
I am expecting, Austin, a special episode of the show where you do a dramatic reading of your Love Square AU fanfic where WWE is a high school and
I have read enough WWE high school AUs that I think I could figure it out.
Wait, that's a subgenre?
Of course it is. Yes, of course there's a subgenre of high school AUs. What do you
thing X as bitchy high school? Why is that always a constant subgenre? It's always thing is bitchy high school. I will never forget fucking Elizabeth giving a PowerPoint on the goddamn periodic table as a bitchy high school. Why is everybody obsessed with? Hell, I even have a concept for Much Ado About Nothing where it's a bitchy high school. Why is everything? Oh, I hate it. I hate that everybody likes that trope. I hate that I like that trope. God damn it.
It is the trope that we all feel bad about a little bit.
We all feel a little guilty, but it also helps us process the trauma that is high school.
I should be too old for bitchy high school fan fiction. And yet, here we are, where I'm thinking about how you could fit this story arc into a bitchy high school.
You absolutely
trope.
could. Easy money, without question. God damn it. All right. Well, one day I look forward to reading that fic. I'm sure it'll be
I
trashy.
will literally never write it.
Oh, well.
Didn't even finish my Supercorp and Moulin Rouge fiction. And that is such a perfect
That's a thing.
cross-section of my desires that if I can't even finish writing that, I will never write anything.
Oh,
so
God, we're
don't
boned.
worry about it.
Oh, we're boned. Oh, God. All right. Anyway.
I also know, you know, we're not going to talk about the fanfics I actually wrote when I was in college. So we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to move on to this. Now, hopefully we haven't lost anybody. It's 2 hours into this one. Let's get back to it.
We love alienating our audience.
Woohoo! This is what you get when you let me pick this arc.
I have no choice. You are the
That's
booker.
True.
I am at your mercy. What do you mean, let you? Ah, yes, I give you permit. It doesn't fucking work like that. You say, hey, David, we're doing a thing. Strap in. And I go, oh, geez, okay. And then I usually end up wanting to Roblox myself by the end of it.
You're right. That's my bad for giving you too much power in the relationship.
Oh, is that what? Do you give me too much power, Austin? You know what? You're right. I have entirely too much agency on this show, and it needs to be revoked. And I should just be made into a brick who just sits here and goes, yes, yup, to everything we endure, and not interject any opinions, because who needs my opinions? I'm just the noob. Help me. No, you're right. I have too much power. I'm just the beautiful goddamn Daniel Bryan here. You are the AJ Lee, and I'm the narcissist with the huge cock. What were we talking about? I broke Austin. I have broken Austin. I have broken Austin. Oh boy. Oh boy. You
no way out.
There, buddy.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, No Way Out. 2012. We get the hype video for the match.
I mean, dude, I hate that the one thing WWE is consistently good at is hype packages. No matter what, that shit's always dope. Whoever, made their hype packages deserves to make all of the money, because that shit always slaps, and this was no exception. This shit actually managed to convince me for a hot second that nothing gross was going on here, and this was actually some grand, sweeping inter-genre epic.
They always get you like that.
They always do it to me. But also this video package and commentary are both really obsessed with AJ, where during what's supposed to be main focus title match.
They know who the real
totally not the most important part of this story. Yeah,
they know who the main character is of this arc.
AJ Lee, protagonist of WWE.
Yep. So we get Kane versus Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship.
And of course, it's not the main event, because why wouldn't it? Or why would it be?
The main event is at the resolution of that Vince McMahon, will he fire John Laurinaitis thing, was to kind of punt. He decided that on this No Way Out pay-per-view, in the main event of the show, will be John Cena versus The Big Show in a steel cage match. And if Cena wins, John Laurinaitis is fired.
What? Ah, yeah. Let's not have the fucking WWE title. I mean, again, it's a title match during CM Punk's run. Of course, it's not going to main event. Instead, it's going to run back fucking John Cena fighting to end Laurinaitis' career again, but this time Big Show's actually in ring. What?
And of course, Cena wins.
And of course,
Laurinaitis
Cena wins.
actually fired this time.
Is he? What? Wait.
Yeah, he loses. John Cena beats the Big Show. John Laurinaitis is fired from being running Raw and SmackDown, and John Cena cuts the cringiest promo of his entire career, of which there are many for this contender.
There are extremely many.
Where he basically does the classic WWE recap the pay-per-view promo, but using only Star Wars analogies.
What?
I will send it to you later, but it's terrible.
That sounds awful. Oh my god.
Absolutely cringe. John Cena, having to hear John Cena try to do Yoda voice absolutely made me want to Roblox myself, when I was 16 watching it for the first time.
That sounds painful.
I was a dumb kid who'd seen 6 months of wrestling at that point, and even I knew this sucked.
Dude,
that sucked.
That shit's funny because fucking that's just funny to me because like Cena like basically became top star off of the back of just wilding out with like cringy promos that got the crowd on his side. And then it was the crowd is on his side. He's like, that's cool. What if I made them even worse? And all of a sudden it's like, wait, everyone's like, wait, this guy's kind of a fucking dweeb. Why do we like him again?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Guess he's just kind of a dork.
Our world title match tonight is thus only the semi-main event.
Of course.
Yeah, so Kane v. Daniel Bryan, v. CM Punk. We start the match up. Kane and Daniel quickly kind of team up to kind of take Kane out of the match for a little bit.
Punk and Daniel, I mean.
This triple threat match, and I'm not necessarily saying this is a criticism, but it does quickly kind of fall into the trope of a bunch of interconnected singles one-on-one encounters.
Yes.
Where guy is knocked out on the outside and suddenly the two guys left are fighting in the ring as if it was a singles match.
Yeah, pretty much. But we also have the added stakes of, the champ could lose this without even being in ring.
Oh, they say that every time, and I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've seen the champion not involved in the decision of a triple threat match.
Yeah, almost like that'd be a really fucking dumb thing to do.
Yeah. But Punk and Daniel Bryan have a nice back and forth strikes. They get yes, no. Striking.
Maybe so.
Yeah, of course. Perhaps.
It's a possibility. Ask again later.
Sure.
Man, the crowd is going in for diversity with those chants tonight.
They were. They start fighting her on the outside, and that is when Kane kind of finds his way back into the match. It was around this point of the match that I have to give Jerry Lawler another slight thumbs up for a gag I kind of liked, as they're obsessed with talking about Daniel Bryan's goat face thing again. And Michael Cole makes some remark about how some people don't just think Daniel Bryan is a goat face, that he's also two-faced. And Jerry Lawler's response is, well, there's no way Daniel Bryan's two-faced, because if he was two-faced, he wouldn't be wearing this one.
I hate you. For those listening, that's directed at my Jerry Lawler effigy. I mean Funko Pop and not Austin.
Yes. So Kane and Punk kind of keep going at it. As having watched all of these matches with each other in a row, I feel like I can more comfortably be able to like pick out how they kind of like reference and build off of the matches they've had in more recently.
Yeah, I mean they do. They're definitely kind of running a highlight reel of everything. because it's been annoying how they've just kind of like DQ ended everything. But that being said, like it was built off like even with those like DQ endings, there was still enough kind of like notable spots of actual work going on that they can build like a very physical match narrative out of it. And they're like running back all the matchups. They run back all these little spots, double choke slam, little things between Punk and Bryan like fighting for a submission spot. So little things like that. The physical storytelling was quite good here. And again, it's good fucking all the matches here have been good. I will cop to that any day. All the matches here have been quite good for this part of the arc.
Yeah. Bryan comes back in with a drop kick to knock Punk out of it, and then he gets to fighting Kane, and he gets Kane down on the middle rope and like kicks the middle rope while Kane is on it, and I'm like, ow, there goes his teeth.
He did that a few times. Because he did that with Punk. Like Punk was gonna do a Macho Man elbow drop on DB in an earlier match, and DB got Punk down from that by like jumping up and like hitting the rope to like knock off Punk's stability. I thought that was good.
Yeah. Later on in the match, Daniel Bryan is pursed up on the top rope, and Punk and Kane do a long bit where they like try to fight each other to be able to superplex Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Like they just pull each other off, and I was just the whole time I was yelling for the Tower of Doom.
Austin was gunning so hard for the Tower of Doom spot. He got like double cock-pieced on it. I feel bad.
For those of you who don't know what that is, in a Tower of Doom spot, it's basically like in a big multi-man kerfuffle when basically all of the guys in the match get involved in one big superplex spot. It is routinely overused in this era of WWE to the point where a lot of people were like, yes. A lot of people were like, God, stop doing Tower of Dooms. And now I rarely see him anymore. I never see Tower of Dooms anymore. And so now I'm like, I wanted to see it real bad.
Luchasaurus does them once in a while.
Yeah, a little bit. But for the most part, they don't do those bits anymore. But then that ends with eventually Daniel Bryan gets a double drop kick on the both of them as they're like punching each other in the middle of the ring. Then it's yes kicks for everybody, and the crowd is going crazy for the yes kicks.
Oh yeah, I mean the crowd just loves yelling yes. That's what gets him over. Of course, it's going to be a big thing. But here's the thing, Austin. This match is going real big back and forth, and we're getting a lot of big spots, and all three of these boys hurting each other bigly, and a lot of near falls. But here's the one problem. None of these near falls are getting me. Because I know for a fact that this shit ain't over until AJ contributes to some shenanigans.
All right. So, with that in mind, we later on, let's skip on to the end of the match, near the end of the match here. Nearer. I wrote basically all their near fall shit. Punk goes for the GTS, does it on Daniel Bryan. Kane hits the big boot instead. I wrote then David just now realizes this isn't the main event at this.
Shut up. Hey, shut up.
Mark. Then Punk goes for for the Macho Man elbow drop for this point the second time. He misses it, and Daniel Bryan hits the flying headbutt. I'm like, oh, great. Should kneel. And then on commentary, they're like, they should call it the Billy Goat headbutt. I'm like, God damn it. You need to stop it right now.
Yeah, we're still going hard on the
cool
goat
it
thing.
A little bit. You're at a 10. Make it a 7 with this goat face shit.
Oh my God. Just please.
Daniel Bryan gets Punk in the yes lock in the middle of the ring. Punk rolls him over like they did it over the limit, gets a 2 count. Punk hits the GTS on Daniel Bryan, and to their credit, Daniel Bryan is out the rest of the match. He went to sleep all right.
Oh boy.
But Kane drags Bryan out of the ring so Bryan can't get pinned. And from there, Kane hits the flying clothesline off the top rope. He sets up for the choke slam. counters into the DDT like they did earlier. Like, you know,
Yep.
References and callbacks in matches. It's crazy.
Almost like how you build a good fucking match narrative. Oh.
Yeah. CM Punk goes up for the elbow drop. He goes 3 times. I don't care. He hits it, 2 count. Punk goes for the go to sleep on Kane. He cannot lift Kane up again. Kane hits the choke slam this time. This has been Kane's finisher for a while now. Punk kicks out. He did the deal. He did. Kane is fuming mad, but he he sets up for the tombstone pile driver. This was kind of Kane's thing by this point, is like he would take the Undertaker, his half brudda's finisher, as like his super finisher.
Oh yeah.
But Punk fights out of it, and they're kind of tussling and pushing each other. And at this point, AJ Lee comes a running up to the ring apron, and almost immediately Punk accidentally pushes Kane into her and bumps her off the apron.
So now Punk is finally allowed to hit that GTS.
And then Kane is distracted. Punk hits the kick to the head, and then he gets Kane up for the go to sleep for the win.
2, 3,
so what? Who did AJ favor in this match? I guess we'll never know. But yet another match where AJ distracts somebody and they lose.
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't even like a whole ass distraction. She just started to climb up and Kane bumped into her. It wasn't even intentional.
Kane's like, what?
She's like, what the fuck? And Punk's like, fuck you. But AJ's like knocked the fuck out by this. So Punk is super busy celebrating in ring with the belt again because he actually has his priorities straight. And Kane is the one to pick up AJ and take her backstage, bridal carrying her. And AJ looks knocked out, but then as she's about to go backstage, she looks over her shoulder and flashes a devious little look at Punk, who is totally not paying attention. He's just happy he has the belt again.
He's too busy celebrating the dub.
Absolutely. All right. So it's time for David to finish off what he's been teasing for this whole thing. Because again, this shit is weird. And we have Austin's shipping version. And I respect that. I am not really a fanfic boy myself, but Austin is. Austin is steeped in the culture. He knows what he's talking about. I respect it. Over here on David's side of the podcast, though, what David is going to do his own signature move and do a little bit of fantasy booking here. And when I say fantasy, oh boy, do I mean it. I mean it even harder than when I meant it during when I said fantasy booking during the Summer of Punk, and I said Rey Mysterio should have retained the title. This is even more fantastical. Because if we're going to have Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss AJ Lee, you can't just have it be like, women power, she's manipulating them, women be shopping, am I right? No, there's got to be a purpose to this. AJ Lee, there is a version of this in my head wherein AJ Lee is doing this shit on purpose because there has to be a point. It can't just be, she's crazy and she's horny and like she's fucking with all of these men. And it feels almost deliberate, and feels like there's this devious side to it. And maybe that'll play out, but I don't know. So in my head, I gotta do something with this devious side. So in my version of this, AJ Lee's fucking with all 3 of these men and making them all kind of turn on each other and making them all question themselves and question her feelings for them. She kind of love bombs each of them, but then kind of pulls back and is cold and then transfers affection to someone else. And it throws all of them off base and it throws them off their game. And AJ's just kind of like acting coy about it all. And she's in this kind of like mixed tag match where she's just able to, instead of fighting anyone, she's able to get Kane to nope out just by kissing him. But what does it all lead to? Well, not AJ being, bumped by Kane in this match. In my version, this leads to AJ getting everyone so off base that she's able to show up during this match, fuck with all three guys again, and then come in. And if we don't want to make this a main event, and if we like DQ so much, fine. She ends this shit in a DQ by hitting Punk and knocking him out, and then claiming contendership, claiming the ability to become the first ever female WWE champion.
I do have to point out you can't have disqualifications in a three-way match.
Oh, well, if she's an outside competitor, then I don't fucking know what happens. Either way, there is a version of this that's good, and that's a version where AJ is doing this with a political purpose to stake her claim, to play mind games, and show who the true champion is here. The one who has it all, AJ goddamn Lee. That is my fantasy book of this shit.
A fascinating idea.
Look, it's called fantasy for a reason, okay?
Yeah, sure. No notes. I don't. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, that's ominous.
I don't know. I don't really know how to respond to that.
Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like that would be a better version of this, right? Like, we still have like the AJ being crazy shit, but like it actually amounts to something. And I mean, again, I know it would never happen in a million years, but like this shit needs to amount to something, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it amounts to something. I think we'll see how you think about that.
Okay.
When we see what the something is.
Because I would like to see AJ gain something by this, but I don't know what the hell that could be.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. A man can dream of proper intergender wrestling in mainstream Western wrestling.
That's for true.
A man can dream.
Well,
all right.
I will just have to keep on dreaming, really.
Anyway.
But yeah, we're in the thick of it. Of this Love Square. One of us is enjoying themselves.
I mean, like I said, the work's good. The performances are good. It's just, God, this whole crazy chicks thing is so gross. Gross, man. It's fucking activating my allergies over here.
No, the impetus by which I'm supposed to think she's crazy is overall pretty dumb.
She got out of an abusive relationship with a narcissist. Of course she's gonna be a little unstable.
And I admit we're not working with real top tier material here.
Mm-mm.
But I kind of love it anyway, so,
I'll get your fuller thoughts on that when we do the end of this arc, because I would love to hear your whole justification broken down. But I want to see the end of it first.
Yeah, I'm curious how you see the end of this.
Okay.
When we get there. Hopefully in one episode. I admit it might be two. I'll have to...
We'll find out. Let's see if Austin can cram a pay-per-view cycle and a half into 2 fucking hours.
Somehow, I don't think it's going to happen. And I just don't want to accept that to myself yet.
I believe.
And that is for a few weeks from now. Next time, though, we start our new arc of the WWF Coliseum home videos.
Yes.
And I thought about there's a lot of different types of Coliseum home videos, and I wasn't really sure what to start with for it. And I guess I just ended up deciding we should start from the very beginning. So next time, on the next episode, we will watch the very first ever Coliseum home video release for the WWF.
Okay, start from the very
WWF, WWF, bloopers, bleeps, and body slams.
Okay, bloopers, bleeps, and body slams. Let's start at the very beginning. I'm excited to see what the fuck this is.
Yeah. So that is for next time. Until then, David, hit our plugs.
Yes, sir, my friends, my dear friends. Thank you all so much for joining us on once again another wonderful episode of the Noobs and Knockouts podcast. It's been a pleasure as always. Returning listeners, viewers, what have you. You guys know the drill. Thanks again for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs. We're just happy to have you here enjoying with us. Noobs, hey, new people to the show. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for being here. We are so happy you decided to join us. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts podcast like to think we are friendly to both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling or you're a veteran of the bullshit, either way, we hope you had a great time here. We hope you want to keep having a great time with us, coming back week after week after week. If you'd like to do and you're not entirely sure how to do so, well, not to worry, my friends, I have you covered. First of all, you can find us on YouTube. We are the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, and make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. Give us all that sweet interaction. Check out all of our playlists. Austin is kind enough to organize all the arcs and shit that we follow into their own separate playlists. So you can follow something all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot. It's great. And hey, there's a video element too. You can see our beautiful faces and our lovely HUD and all the wonderful visual gags we hide in here for the people who deign to watch us. But of course, there's the audio only experience as well. You can find us on 3 of the best places to find your podcast, and that would be Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Check us out there. Listen to us. Download us. Give us ratings and reviews. A nice little 5 stars if you're so inclined. A nice little review to tell people, hey, these guys are pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe you should check them out. I don't know. I'm just saying. Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Check us out there. But of course, we also have a presence beyond just us blabbering on for a couple hours at a time. We also have some social media. First and foremost, of course, is the Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at Noobs and KnoxPod. That's at Noobs, the letter N, KnoxPod on Twitter. Come check us out there. We post memes. We engage in discourse. We post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell's going on. And of course, the highlight of our Twitter is weekly wrestling live tweeting. My friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Sure. So the usual here is at 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS every Wednesday night is AEW Dynamite. I am taking a bit of a leave from AEW right now. But David is usually watching live and will usually be live tweeting that.
I'm doing my best. I'm in rehearsals right now, but when I can, I will.
Sure. No pressure, really. But beyond that is AEW, WWE, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. So upcoming for that is Impact Wrestling is Bound for Glory, one of their big shows every single year. That is October the 7th. For WWE, upcoming is Extreme Rules. For in October the 8th. Right now, the one match we have for that is Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. So great.
Cool.
I want Liv Morgan to not lose to Ronda Rousey, and I feel like she's gonna lose to Ronda Rousey.
I never want Little Miss Sandy Hook Truther to win, but that's just me.
Yeah, sucks to suck. And then on November 19th is AEW Full Gear. They have a big show coming up in New York this week, so they're not gonna. We don't have any matches for Full Gear quite yet, but that should be coming up. That card should be coming together in the coming weeks.
Absolutely. So be sure to check all of it out. It's a great time over on the Twitter. If you, for some reason, enjoy listening to us blather on about wrestling for 2 hours plus at a time, I mean, it's our voices carry over there. Austin is brilliant and knows what the hell he's talking about. I'm just derping along, making memes and other random observations. Either way, if you enjoy it, we're a pretty good fucking company to watch your wrestling with. So check us out over there. But of course, if you want to get in super direct contact with us, you can do that at our email address. We have an email address. Ain't that nifty? You can email us at noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word and this time, knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come say hi to us. Tell us what you like about the show, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, less of, requests for any kind of like wrestling media at all you want to see on the show. Tell us how based our hot takes are or how dumb you think they are. Either way, just come say hi. We love people saying hi. We would love to say hi back. Noobs and Knockouts Pod at gmail.com. Come give us a nice little email. And of course, finally, we are also on Patreon. We are also the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. You can find the link in our Twitter. $1 a month gets you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Shout out to the Sugar Daddy, Kyle Smith, for being our $1 patron friend of the show. Enjoy your perks, buddy. If you want to enjoy your perks along with Kyle, check us out, Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. You can find the link in the Twitter. It's a great time.
Yep. And see you all next time.
Hasta luego.